Whew. I just got back from a wedding 7 minutes ago, and now I have changed, gotten out of my suit, and now we're ready to go. We're here to practice a bunch of consistency and work on our hip mobility and our side splits, all right? And when I say I'm here to practice consistency, I take it very seriously. I will make sure I have the car pulled up and parked right in front of the wedding venue so I can leave exactly when the wedding ends to get home for the live. Okay, let's do this. It's time for some hip mobility. If you're ready for some Saturday night hip mobility, let's get ready to go. First thing we're going to do is called hip cars. We're going to start by lifting this knee up as high as you can. Lift, 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 lift some more. Lift again. Bring that knee high. From here, we're going to open up that hip to the side. When I say open up that hip, what I mean is oh wow, I'm cramping. You're bring that leg out to the side as wide as you can. The hip itself is not actually moving very much. All right, it shouldn't move that much at all. Next, from here, with your knee as high as possible and as wide open as possible, I want you to rotate this leg so that the ankle comes up and is hidden behind the knee a little bit. All right. From here, I want you to keep going. Bring that knee down, lift the ankle up, bring the knee down, lift that ankle up, bring that knee down, lift that ankle up, and work that hip. Whew. When you're about to get cramps, feel free to move on and stick that leg back behind you. Flex the hamstrings. Whew. Flex the glutes. Feel the stretch right here in the front of the hip. That is one rep. We're doing 10 of these in total. We got 9 more to do. And let's begin. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Ankle up some more. Down and back. That's 2. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 3. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 4. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 5. I think that's Che in the chat. I can't really see. Open. Knee. Back. Whew. Is that 5? High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. I'm losing balance. If you're at home, feel free to stick your hands out, hold on to something for balance. Or use a wall. Stick your hands against the wall and continue. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Ankle up some more. Down and back. I think that's 8. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 9. Last one. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 10. Woo! That is some hip cars. All right. If you're feeling a little tight, feeling a little tense, they're getting a little crampy, shake out your legs, give them a little massage, and let's get ready to do the other side. All right. Let's go. Stand up nice and straight. We're going to start with the high knees. High knee. Lift that knee a little bit higher. Go a little higher and a little higher and open up that leg to the side. Rotate the leg so the ankle is up. Rotate some more. Bring that ankle even higher. Bring the leg down and back. When you bring the leg down and back, I want you to flex your hamstrings, flex your glutes. Feel the stretch right here in the hip flexor. And that is one rep. We got 9 more to go. Let's do it. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Oof. Down and back. That's 2. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 3. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 4. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 5. High knee. Open. Ankle up. Down and back. That's 6. Again, guys, this is all about trying to lift and bring your legs as high into each of these, or as deep into each of these ranges of motion as you can. Try to lift that knee high as you can. Trying to open that leg open to the side as wide as you can. Lift the knee up. Rotate the leg so the ankle comes up. Bring the leg down and back. And I completely lost count of how many of these we've done, but I'm going to just pretend this is 7. All right. Ankle up, down and back. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That would be 8. High knee. Open. Ankle up, down and back. That's 9. Last one. High knee. Open. I'm off balance. Ankle up. Ankle up some more. Down and back. That's 10. Whew. Those are some hip cars. Josh Reese says, hello, let's get super deep today. I'm glad you're so excited. All right, let's go. We just did hip cars going forward. Shake out your legs, do a little dance, do a little wiggle, and get ready for some more hip cars, but in reverse. All right? When we go in reverse, I want you to focus on one main thing, and that is to not make your back mad at you. All right? When we do this thing first, when we bring the leg back first, we tend to get a little excited. We tend to go, wapa! And then get into a position that looks a little like this. You see how my back goes straight down and it pops an angle over that back way? This puts a lot of pressure on your back. All right. When you're doing it once, every once in a while, it's probably not the end of the world. It's not a big deal. But if you're going to do 10 reps of these on one leg, 10 reps of these on the other leg, your low back might get a little bit uncomfortable, might get a little unhappy when you're putting all that pressure right here in the back. All right. This is about your hips. So all you have to do is focus on bringing the leg back, flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes for the stretch right here. If you're putting a lot of pressure here in the back, it's working too hard. Chill, relax, and you can also not relax. You can protect your back by keeping your core nice and tight. If you have your back locked in like this, almost rounded forward, there's going to be a lot less chance your leg is going to go real far back and put pressure on your back. All right. I'm exaggerating a little bit when I'm telling you that you're going to, contract your core like this. You don't have to go that hard. I'm just showing you how that protects your back. All right. That's enough of a spiel. Let's get into reverse hip curls. I'm going to hold onto the wall and demonstrate it from the back one time. Then I'm going to face you for the rest of them. All right. Hold on to something for balance. Bring that leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Feel the stretch in your hip flexors. Keep that core nice and tight. Lift the leg up to the side. Rotate the ankle up. Rotate the ankle down and bring the knee forward. Whew, that is one rep. Remember, hold on to something for balance. These get really tiring. The standing leg gets real tired. All right. Next, we're going to keep going. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's two. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's three. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's four. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's six. Did I just say five last time? Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. Seven. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's eight. Two more. Back, side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's nine. Can't even show the 10th finger is bent back. Side, ankle up, ankle down, knee. That's 10. Oh. Reverse hip curls. We got one leg down. We got one last leg to go. Let's do it. Whew, there's a bunch of you online right now. Welcome, 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 welcome. All right, let's go. Stand up nice and straight. Keep those core muscles nice and tight. Remember, we are not doing this. We're not twerking. All right. Trying to keep our core nice and strong to protect our low back. Cool? Let's go. Bring that leg down and back. Which one am I facing? Bring that leg down and back. Flex the hamstrings, flex the glutes. Feel the stretch right here in the front of the hip. Lift that leg up to this side. Rotate the ankle up. Rotate the ankle down. Bring the knee forward. I'm going to do the rest facing you. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's two. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's three. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's four. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's five. Back. Side. If these feel like I'm going a little bit fast, feel free to go at your own pace. I'm going to slow down the next couple while we wrap up. But the slower you go, the more intense it's going to feel. So maybe you don't actually want to go slower. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. I think this is eight. Two more. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. Nine. Last one. Back. Side. Ankle up. Ankle down. Knee. That's 10. Whew. Those are our reverse hip curls. Relax. Breathe. And we're going to get ready to move on into warm-up exercise number 2. If you're just joining in, or you joined in for a little bit, but you haven't heard the spiel, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice consistency. Usually this live starts at 9 p.m. Eastern, and it's currently 10 p.m. Eastern. I need to go to a wedding. I still practice consistency despite the wedding, but that's why we're an hour late. All right. Most of the time, it's at 9 p.m. Eastern. We would have started an hour ago. All right. Whew. If you like side split, if you need a little bit more hip mobility, need help practicing consistency, that's what we do here every day. So hit follow, hit subscribe, and keep on coming back. All right. Second warm-up exercise is the elephant walk. What we're doing is folding at the hips, bring our belly button down towards the ground, and we're going to stick our butts out. Ooh. Ah, if your low back is feeling tight, give yourself a couple seconds to breathe. Inhale, exhale, and try to relax your body, drape your back down towards the ground. If you have a specific condition where your back doesn't like it when you fold forward like this, you don't have to do this part. All right. Once you let your back chill for a little bit, your back is relaxing, but you're starting to feel it more in your hamstrings, into your glutes. I'm seeing now that I have lines from the really high socks that I had under my suit pants. Yeah, it's kind of funny. And where am I going with this? Once you're feeling your hamstrings, we are going to get into some elephant walks. All right, there's a little bit of movement. We're going to bend one knee. We're going to straighten out the other leg. We're going to bring our belly buttons down, and then we're going to switch to the other side. This leg is bent. This leg is straight. This belly button is down, and we're going to keep switching back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And we're going to just loosen up those hamstrings. You're going to feel that stretch is going to change as you move through the hamstring stretch. And each leg is going to feel a little bit different because one is bent and one is straight, and that is okay. You might be feeling that stretch in your glutes a little bit up here. All right. That is probably because your hamstring connects from behind your knee and below your knee into the bottom of your pelvis. When you're folded forward like this, the bottom of your pelvis is basically right here where your glutes are. And that's probably what you're feeling. All right, we've done a whole bunch of these. If you're feeling good, if you're feeling comfortable, I want you to try your best to fold a little bit deeper into that stretch and keep going. 5 more. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our elephant walks. That's our second warm-up exercise. We're going to move on into number 3. It's called thoracic rotation. All right. When you're standing, it looks a little bit like this. Boom and boom. You don't have to go very hard. You don't have to go aggressive. We're just trying to get a little bit of rotation going, so each vertebrae in your spine is going wee, just a little bit further in that direction or that direction. And we're going to do this from the position we were just in when we were doing the elephant walks. All right, we're going to bend one knee. We're going to straighten out the other leg. We're going to fold our belly button down towards the ground. And from here, we're going to take our arm from the bent leg side, right here. We're going to reach across to the straight leg side. We're going to push against that straight leg and open up our chest. We're going to rotate. Or just stick your other arm up into the air. I want you to rotate your neck to look at that hand, and I want you to push and breathe and push and breathe and try to reach a little bit further behind you. That is half of a rep. We got to do 5 total. Let's finish up half and make it 1. This leg is bent. This leg is straight. This arm is bent. We're pushing off the straight leg. We're pushing. We're reaching. We're extending the other arm up into the air. Our neck is rotating to look at the hand. We're going to take a breath in. We're going to exhale and we're going to reach. If you need time to try it again because you weren't sure you got it right, feel free to do it again. Inhale, exhale, reach. That is 1 rep. We're doing 5 of these. We got 4 left. Bent leg, straight leg. Bent arm, straight leg. Push. Look at the hand, reach. That's 2, part 1. Other side. 2, part 2. Whew. Let's go for 3. Bent leg, straight leg, bent arm, straight leg. Open, 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 open. Breathe. Exhale and reach. That's 3. Other side. 3. 2 more. Bent leg, straight leg. Let's go. 4. Other side. Inhale. Exhale. Reach. That's 4. Last 1. One more time. We're going to explain it from the top. This leg is bent. This leg is straight. This arm is bent. It's reaching across to the straight leg. We're pushing against that shin. We're folding forward. We're reaching our arms up into the air. Our neck is rotated to look at the hand. We're pushing off that shin. We're rotating. Inhale. Exhale and reach. That's 5. Other side. And that is our thoracic rotation. You might be feeling a little bit looser. Give yourself a nice little gentle shake. especially if you're new to this. If you just put yourself through a lot of stress and you start aggressively whipping your body around, maybe not so comfortable. But if you take it nice and slow, add a little bend, do a little dance, maybe that will help continue to relax your back. All right. Next, we're going to move on to our fourth and final warm-up exercise. It is called the Cossack switch. All right. And it looks a little bit like this. We are open up our legs, nice and wide. We're going to drop down to one side. We're going to drop so deep, it's going to look like you're doing a deep squat on one side. You're going to do a side split on the other side. All right. Then from here, we're going to scoot our butts over to the other side. We're going to sink into that stretch. We're going to get as low as we can, and then we're going to come back. That is one Cossack switch. For most of us, our knees, our ankles, our hips are not going to be ready for that. So let's prep ourselves with some deep squats. All right. I want you to come into standing, and I want you to slowly come down and get as low as you can to the ground. It is absolutely okay for your heels to come up right now. All right. I want you to push your knees forward. I want you to bring your chest down towards those knees. I want you to feel that stretch in your Achilles tendon. All right. Take your time. Feel that stretch in your calves. Chill here for a little bit. Breathe. Relax. From here, we're going to add a little bit of very gentle movement. If it feels like it's too much for you, you don't have to add any at all. All right. If you feel like you're really comfortable, add a little bit more. All right. What I want you to do is do a little wiggle. Wiggle your hips forward and back and forward and back and forward and back and forward and back. Do a little dance with your thoracic spine, the part of your back that you loosened up just now, and open up the legs, bring them together, wiggle your ankles out, wiggle the other ankle out, and once you're feeling a little bit more comfortable, move around in your knees, your ankles, your hips, we're ready to move on into the Cossack switch. All right, we're warmed up for our warm up. Crazy. Let's go. I'm going to scoot a little further back so more of me is visible on the cameras. And we're going to begin. I want you to stick your hands straight down into the ground. And I want you to extend one leg out to the side. Right now, what this leg is doing is not all that important. All right. But I recommend heel down to start. This leg, the leg we're about to push off of, I want you to put the heel down so that the toes and the heels are all nice and sound on the ground. All right. This is important because that flat foot will help you stay stable. And from here, I want you to get as low into a squat as you can. If you're new to this, you're not that flexible yet, feel free to stay a little bit higher, like so. If you're a little bit more experienced, if you've been doing this for a while, if you're just very flexible, feel free to come down lower to the ground. All right. From here, our goal is to move to the other side. So if you're here, feel free to transition. If you're here and you're a little bit lower, you need some help, feel free to use your hands to bring yourself over. If you're somewhere in the middle, but you do need your hands, you can't reach, feel free to use a coffee table, use a chair, use a stool, something to support your hands while you move your butt over to the other side. All right? Once you're here on the other side, I want you to pause for a second. I want you to breathe. I want you to exhale. And I want you to sink a little bit deeper into your stretch. All right? From here, we're going to go back. Whee! We're back. We're going to sink. We're going to stay low. We're going to keep going. All right. That was one rep. We're going to count it. We're going to do 9 more. We're going to do 10 in total. Let's do this. Get nice and low. Let's use our hands. Let's go. Side. Half. Back. 1. But plus the 1 before. So there's 2. Keep going. Across. Sink into it. Across. Sink into it. That's 3. Keep on going. Across and back. That's 4. Keep going. Across and back. That's 5. If you're ready to do these without touching the ground with your hands, feel free to do a couple of these without touching the ground with your hands. All right. I think this is 6. If the inside of your knees are feeling a little bit tense, a little achy, because this in between motion is a little hard and challenging for you, feel free to change it up. Instead of going across as low as you can, come up a little bit, come across, sink down, then come back up, come across and sink down. That's 8. Keep going. 9. Up, across, down. 9. Last one. We're going to do some Cossack squats. Just come down on one leg, then power through from that leg, and then come down on the other side and power through. And that is our 10 Cossack switches, or 10 Cossack squats. We are done with our 4 warm-up exercises. If that sentence scares you because you're like, what? That's just the warm up exercises. What do you mean? Don't worry, this is a side split and hip mobility show. We are working on building some flexibility. The warm up was needed to make sure that we're all on the same page. We're all sweating a little bit. Our heart rate is up. Our hips, our joints, our knees, our ankles, our hamstrings are a little bit loosened up so we can get the most out of our next couple of stretches. All right. Katie says, first time I was able to do it without touching the ground. Amazing. That's awesome. That's the power of consistency, Katie. You got this. Especially if it's one of your first couple of times doing the live. Sometimes it's just building the understanding of how the movement works, right? If you built up a lot of strength because you've been doing this for a while, then you've gotten a lot stronger. And all that is required for all those things is consistency. So you're doing it. That's awesome, Katie. All right. We're gonna get into our first stretch. We got 5 stretches in total. The first one that we're doing is a hamstring stretch. I recommend you go grab something to pad your knee. I have a little bit of foam that I like to use because I have it already. If you don't have specialty foam tools and shenanigans, you can use an old flip flop. You can use sneakers you don't care about. Just stick it under your knee, squish it down. If you have a stuffed animal that your dog ripped up, awesome dog bed that they're not using, great decorative cushions, couch cushions, pillows, whatever, all those things. Stick them under your knee, give it a little bit of protection. The reason I'm asking you to do that is because we're going to do a hamstring stretch with one knee down on the ground. All right. Once you got that one knee down, straight down, we're going to extend one leg out in front. All right. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. Notice this body from the knee all the way up is basically a straight line. All right. This leg is right there. We're not doing crazy twisting. It's just a straight line up and down. From here, we're going to fold the belly buttons down towards our thighs. All right? Take your time. Lean forward. Focus on bringing the belly button down and forward. And breathe. Relax. When you feel that tension in your hamstrings, maybe in your calves, all I care about is that you breathe and try to relax. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And if you get a little bit deeper, great. If you don't, fine. Next, we are going to do something called an inhale, exhale, fold. Basically, we're just taking a big inhale, a ton of air into the lungs. We're going to slowly exhale. And while we exhale, we're going to try to fold our belly buttons down closer to our thighs. All right? That's it. Let's go. Inhale. Exhale and fold. Bring that belly button down. Fold, 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 fold. Woo. Now that you're a little bit deeper into the stretch, doesn't matter how deep you are, just that you're trying your best to get a little bit deeper into the stretch. We're going to relax. We're going to breathe. We want to almost drape our body over that leg. All right. If you're feeling a whole bunch of pressure in your neck, in your mid back, in your upper, middle, mid, down to your low back, you're using too many muscles. If you're trying to turn your face, you're turning your body into a ball and you're trying to smash your face into your knee while you're doing this, you're working too hard. Relax. The folding comes from bringing your belly button down to the thigh. Everything else above the belly button doesn't matter for our hamstring stretch. So just chill out. Relax. If your back is arched because you're chilled, fine. If your back is arched because you're trying to smash your face into your knee, that's too far. All right? Next, now that you got the long ramble, I guess, we're going to get into another inhale, exhale, fold. All right? Big inhale. Exhale and fold. Oh, that is our stretch. Try your best to relax the toes, relax the feet, relax the calves, hamstrings, glutes. Bring your body down. My leg happens to be cramping, so I'm going to undo it a little bit to give it a chance to stop cramping. But we're ready to begin. 30 seconds. 29, 28, 27, 26. Hang out here for a little bit. 25, 24. Why am I cramping so hard? 23, 22, 21, too much cake, not enough electrolytes. 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. That is number one. We got one more to do because we got another leg. All right, let's go. Bring that other leg around. Remember, we're trying to stand up nice and straight, except, we're kneeling nice and straight. We're going to drop that other leg in front. If you're immediately feeling super wobbly and off balance, you can widen the leg just a little bit for a little bit more stability. And we're ready to fold. We're bringing the belly button down to the thigh. You ready? Let's go. When you start feeling that hamstring stretch getting nice and tight, we're going to breathe. We're going to try our best to relax. All right, inhale. Drape that body over your leg. Relax. Breathe. Relax toes, feet, calves, glutes, hamstrings. Keep breathing. And chill. All right, it's time to take it up to the next level, or I guess take it down to the next level. We're going to do the big inhale, exhale, and fold. All right, big inhale, exhale, and fold. Whew, that is exhale and fold number one. Again, if you're feeling a whole bunch of tension in your neck, your upper back, your mid back, your whatever else in your back, you're working too hard. Chill, relax. Don't turn yourself into a ball and try to smash your face into your knee. All right. All of the folding comes from bringing the belly button down to the thigh. It's coming from the hips folding. So everything else that you do is just putting extra strain on your body for no reason. All right. Chill, relax. One more inhale, exhale, fold. Let's go. Big inhale. Exhale and fold. That is our stretch. 30 seconds. Let's do it. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our hamstring stretch. We're done with stretch number one. We're going to move on into our second stretch. It is the butterfly stretch. I'm going to pop over to the camera real quick because I saw a comment coming over on YouTube. Or like a good back stretch. I didn't see your first question, Brutus. I don't know if the auto mod has blocked something or deleted something, but this can be a good back stretch if you're going forward, if you round your back a ton and try to reach. For most people, you probably don't need to go further in that direction because your natural posture probably has you stretched out pretty deep in this direction when you're in front of a computer staring at your phone, etc. But uh, yeah, I didn't see your first question, so I don't know how to respond. We're gonna move on into sides. We're gonna move on into stretch number two. It's called the butterfly stretch. All right. What I want you to do is sit with your butt up against the wall and rest your low back, your mid back, your upper back, your head all against the wall, and enjoy some nice chill posture for a quick second. All right. Chill, relax, and then we're gonna get into the butterfly stretch. I want you to take your feet. I want you to bring the flaps, the bottoms of your feet together. I want you to pull your feet in towards your groin as deep and close to yourself as you can. From here, we're gonna bring our knees down towards the ground. All right. This is how we set up the groin stretch, which is the point of the butterfly stretch. We want to feel the muscles right here in the inner thighs. And again, the way we do this is by bringing the knees down into the ground. If you're new to the show, I want you to use your outer thigh muscles and your glutes to help open up your legs and try your best. As you get more comfortable, as you get more familiar with this, I just want you to focus on two things. We're getting a stretch here in the inner thigh, right? And we're trying to see if our knees go down a little bit. If both those things are feeling like they're moving in the right direction, you're doing just fine. You don't have to worry about anything else. All right. Now, we're going to get into part two. We're gonna take our hands, we're gonna stick them straight down into our legs. If this is your knees, come in just a little bit. Stick your arms straight down into those legs. Push your knees down, 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 down. Breathe down, 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 down some more. Down again, and whoo, chill. You're gonna feel a whole bunch of stretch right here in the groin. We're going to hold this for 30 seconds, and I want you to keep breathing. On the exhale, I want you to slowly apply a little bit more pressure, a little bit more pressure, a little bit more pressure through your arms, all right? If you're feeling some pressure in the back of your head, that is normal because your arms are pushing your legs down, but your shoulders are pushing your shoulders back into the wall, and that's taking your head with it. Okay, let's go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28, 27. Push your legs down a little bit deeper. 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19. Keep pushing. Keep breathing. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our stretch. Let your hands go. Let your legs relax. They might pop up just a little bit, and that's totally fine. Whew, that is our stretch. Right now, what I want you to do is try your best to flap the wings of your butterfly. All right, try to bring them up and down. If your legs are feeling stiff, they're not working quite so well, you might be able to take your leg, give it a little shake, and that might just wake it up. Do the sides kind of evenly, kind of fair, because that will make it so your legs work together at the same level and not just one leg got some favoritism. All right, shake out your legs, flap them, and when your legs are moving good, we're ready to move on into our third stretch. It's called the standing pancake. We can get rid of all the cushioning, all the padding. We don't need it anymore. We're going to get into the standing pancake a little like this. We're going to open up our legs nice and wide to start. If you've gone so wide that you're feeling pain here in the hips, you've gone too far. Stop. Bring your legs back in just a little bit. When there is no discomfort here at the hips, you can move comfortably. You're plenty ready to fold and bring your belly button down towards the ground. Fold, belly button down, 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 down. Boom. This is our starting position. From the side, it's going to look a little bit like this. Boom. All right. The pancake actually eventually ends up looking like this. Folding flat is crazy. And I can't do it. Most people can't. So we're going to try a variation of this stretch that uses gravity to help us out as much as possible. And what we're going to do is try and keep our upper body as close to horizontal as possible and as long as possible to get the most stretch from gravity. All right. If it ever gets too intense, you can just pull your arms back. You can stand up a little straighter and it'll be a little easier. All right. Let's go. Fold the belly button down. If you're ready for more, extend your arms past your ears. If you're ready for even more after that, feel free to hold something in your hands. A 1 pound dumbbell, a water bottle, that will be a pain in the butt. When you're fully extended and you're ready, make sure to breathe. Inhale, exhale, relax. Drop a little deeper into your stretch. Another one, inhale, exhale, relax. Drop a little deeper into the stretch. If you find your face is a little too close to the floor for comfort, you feel like you're going to smash your face in, feel free to try this next tip. Stick your butt back. Stick your arms out in front for sure, because that will help counterbalance the fact that your butt is going back and throwing your center of balance back behind you. All right, that's it. That's the stretch. We are set up. You can open up your legs a little wider if you want, if you're not feeling discomfort, and we're ready to go. 30 seconds. 30, 29, 28. Remember, the goal is to fold the belly button down towards the floor. So take your time, breathe, keep folding. 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Put your hands down. That is our pancake stretch. If your legs are super tired right now, that is completely normal. I want you to try your best. Wiggle your toes in, wiggle your heels in, wiggle your toes in, wiggle your heels in, wiggle your toes in, wiggle your heels in. Bring your legs closer and 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 closer together. If your feet are feeling okay, but your legs are not, take your time. Pop into a little bit of a squat right here. Push off your legs, come back into standing. Whew. That is our standing pancake. Whew. We're going to move on into our fourth stretch. It's a little bit more chill compared to that pancake. The third stretch, the standing pancake, is definitely one of the hardest stretches in our whole entire show. But our next one is a little bit more chill. We're going to do some figure four stretch. All right. This has us on our backs, pulling on our leg. We got the option, actually, between the figure four and the pigeon. If you have a favorite version of the stretch, if you're regular to the show, feel free to jump into whichever one you prefer. But I'm going to explain the figure four, and we're going to do it together live. All right. For the figure four and the pigeon, they both have the same fundamentals. We're taking one leg, we're bringing it across the body. So it looks kind of like this number four, right? With the space in between the legs, that little triangle. We're going to bring that leg up to the belly button, and we're going to bring the belly button down to the leg, a little like this. From the side, looks like this. And we're going to feel the stretch here in the side of the glute. Cool? What I want you to do is come on down to the ground. Again, if you're doing the pigeon stretch, do the pigeon stretch. But I'm going to demonstrate the figure four. All right? One, you are on the ground. We're taking that leg that we crossed over, still crossed. We're reaching our hands through the triangle that we just made and around the other leg. We're going to pull that knee in towards our chest. All right? I want you to chill here for a second, and I want you to breathe. All right? Inhale, exhale, and pull that leg in a little bit. Inhale, exhale, and pull. Inhale, exhale, pull. Just pull your leg in a little bit. On the exhale, we're trying to relax the muscle, and we're trying to pull it in a little bit towards our chest. The reason for this is because we're often going to be able to get into a much deeper stretch than our muscles will want to get into when we have to do the work. You'll notice that if you get into a pigeon and gravity is pulling your chest down towards your leg, you're probably going to be much closer than in this variation where you have to pull your own leg in. So while you breathe, I want you to try to bring your leg in a little closer, a little closer, a little closer, a little closer. All right? Oh, that's it. That's everything. Let's go. We're holding this for 30 seconds. We're breathing. We're pulling that leg in. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25. You might find that your knees are a little bit achy. Feel free to palm your knee and pull that knee in directly to give it a little bit of relaxation so that it's not your ankle wrenching at your knee trying to bring it closer into your hip. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Relax. Oh, let your legs drop down. Chill. That is one figure four. We gotta do the other side. All right, spinning around, crossing the leg over to the other side, switching Putting that arm through and other arm around. We're grabbing that other knee. We're pulling that leg in and take your time. Take a couple of breaths. Pull yourself a little deeper into the stretch. And when you're ready, let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20. Oh, I fell over. 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our figure four stretch. Whew. Let your body relax on the floor for a second. Exhale, chill, and when you're ready, come on back up. We're getting into our fifth and final stretch. We're doing some side splits. All right, never done side splits before. Don't worry. We're gonna break it down step by step, and you can get into whatever depth that you can get into, and we'll work on it from there. All right. If you're just joining in and you have no idea what this show is about, just seeing us lying on the floor, pulling on our legs, we're doing 45 to 60 minutes of live side split stretching and hip mobility work. We do this every single day to practice the number one quality, consistency. We're trying to build a little bit of community. We're trying to make the suffering that we do to ourselves on the floor every day a little bit more fun, a little bit more entertaining, so that we can practice more consistency, right? Because the best plan in the world, if you can't follow it, it's not really the best plan for you. I believe, I'm a firm believer in once you've built the consistency, you can go do whatever it is that you want because you know you can stick with it. But a lot of the time, getting started is really tough. Changing your whole life to accommodate something new is really hard. And building consistency is just that much more important. All right, that's enough of the spiel. Hit follow, hit subscribe, keep coming back. We do this live every single day at 9 p.m. It is currently not a 9 p.m. show because I just got back from a wedding. Even though I went to a wedding, came back and I practiced consistency. All right, that's that's the point of the show. All right, we're moving on. Let's get some side splits done. Whew, I need this stool, so I'm gonna pull that over here. And that's all I need. So let's talk about safety in the side splits first. What I want you to do is have your butt up against the wall before we begin. All right. And then I want you to take one step forward in front of the wall. The reason for this is because I want you to be real close to the wall, close enough that if you're in a side split looking position, you're trying to get deep, and then you fall backwards and go, no, your butt will just gracefully land on the wall and you'll be fine. You'll be stuck in this position. You can just do a little hip thrust, whee! You'll be back into your side splits and then you'll be ready to continue. The reason why I recommend you do this in front of a wall is because if you got into the same situation without a wall, you started falling backwards, you'd be like, no! And then that would hurt a lot more. All right. So don't let that happen to you. Again, we're here to practice consistency, not to hurt our butts. And stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. Let's go. Ooh, we're ready to begin. So 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. Small step forward. And we're going to start opening up our legs. All right. What's most important here is that you're not feeling a pinching sensation here in the hips. If you are feeling a pinching pain in the hips and it's like, oh man, that does not feel good, you've gone too far, bring your legs back in. What you see me doing is not what you could or should or have to be doing. All right. Everybody's got slightly different anatomy going on in the hips. There's like a 20-degree variation. So you could very well, for some really rare people, sit in a side split all the way down like this without feeling any pain in the hips at all. For most people, if you just open up your legs wide enough, at some point it will hurt. And we don't want that pain because that pain is your thigh bone smashing into your hip bone. And that is not going to be good for your bones and it's not going to be good for your joints. All right. So when you're feeling it, bring those legs back in just a little bit. And we're ready to fold. We're bringing this belly button down to the ground. Fold, 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 fold. Fold some more. Fold again. Fold. From here, we're going to put our hands down on the ground. If you cannot reach, or you just don't want to. That's absolutely fine. Put your hands on something for support. I'm using this stool. You can use a coffee table, you can use a chair. Anything that will not collapse underneath your weight is good and ready to go. From here, in this position, we're going to rotate our legs so that they go boom, heels down, toes up, knees up. The reason why we're doing this is we're rotating the thigh bone so it does not smash into the hip bone in the same way it would have if we did it thing we were doing earlier. And I told you not to make your hip hurt, right? From this new position where your heels are down, your toes are up, and your knees are up, you're in position for a side split. All right. Get your stool, get your chair, whatever it is that you're leaning on, nice and close to you. And remember, we're close to a wall. Slowly drift so you can get a little bit lower to the ground. If you want, you can lean a little to the right, lean a little to the left, lean a little to the right, lean a little to the left. Walk your hands back to the wall, to your hips, and then lean against the wall and see if you can use the wall for a little bit of support. All right. Let your butt drift down lower towards the ground and see how low you can go. When your knees are pointing up in the same direction as the tops of your head, you're holding your side split position. All right. What I want you to do is shake and relax your feet, your calves, your toes, your hamstrings, your glutes, your low back. I want you to inhale. I want you to exhale. I want you to see if you can drift just a little bit deeper into your stretch. Whew. Once you're as low as you can get, you're ready to go. 30 seconds, that's how long we're holding this. Let's go. 30, 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That is our first side split. Walk your hands forward. Pull your legs in underneath you. And that is time to chill. Oh man, grunt, groan, make as many sound effects as you need to, and when you're ready, come back into standing. We're going to shake out our legs, we're going to get loose, and we're going to help ourselves recover from that side split. Stumble around a little like a drunk penguin, and let's get ready to shake. I want you to put most of your weight into one leg, and I want you to shake out the other ankle. All right? You can start nice and gentle and then pick up the intensity as you find that it is comfortable for you. If it immediately is uncomfortable, you do not have to shake out your ankle all that hard. It can be very, 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 very gentle. All right. As you get more comfortable with it, you can shake a little bit more aggressively if you want. It's not even that important. All right. The reason why we're shaking out the ankles is because what your ankles do, this, pointing the toe, flexing the foot, all the rotations are controlled by a whole bunch of muscles here, right? We want those muscles to be relaxed because we're trying to shake out the tension in our legs so that we can get into a chill position for some more side splits. And when your ankles are flopping all over the place, those muscles have to be more or less relaxed, right? Other leg, shake, 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 wiggle, 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 flop, 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 and when that leg seems to be pretty loose, we're ready to move on. You don't have to do this for a crazy amount of time. As soon as you feel like it's pretty loose, we're ready to go. All right. Next, we're going to move on into our hips. We're going to put all of our weight into one leg. We're going to put the big toe of the other foot down. Knee is going to be bent. We're going to rotate the leg in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. Notice the rest of the body is not moving. The only thing that's moving is this thigh bone where it connects into your hip socket. All right. Like this. And what I want you to focus on is contracting the muscles here and here to help bring your knee in and out. Once you've done a couple of these, we're ready to move on. Let's do the other side. My big toe is cramping for some reason today. I think it's because I wore some crampy dress shoes and now my toes are tired. But it could be because we did Taibo this morning and my feet are tired from jumping around from side to side. Next, All your weight is in the other leg. Big toe is down, rotating in and out and 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 in and out. And we're gonna do a couple more. All right. When your hips are feeling a little bit looser, you're able to do a little dance. You feel a little bit more chill. You're in control. You're not stumbling around like a drunk penguin anymore. We're ready to move on into our second side split. All right. Stand 8 to 12 inches in front of the wall. Open up those legs nice and wide. Fold your belly button down into the ground. Stick your hands down. Stick your hands on the chair if you'd like. And let's go. Externally rotate. Heels down, toes up, knees up. This is the most important part of the whole entire show. We're rotating the thigh bone so it doesn't smash into the hip bone. It's very important. So if you do anything in this whole show, this is the one thing that you got to do. All right. Heels down, toes up, knees up. From here, we're dropping. We're getting low. We're taking advantage of all that relaxation we just created in our muscles. We're going to sink a little bit deeper into the stretch. Whew. Walk your hands towards your hips. Pull your chair, your stool, whatever it is that you're using for hand support towards you if you need to adjust. And chill. Keep going. Sit into it. Relax. Oh, relax the toes, relax the feet, relax the calves, relax the hamstrings, relax the glutes. Drop those hips. We're going to change up the stretch a little bit from last time. We're going to walk our hands forward this time, just a little bit, so that you're feeling more of a stretch here in your inner thighs. All right. By rotating the angle of the stretch, you put more pressure on slightly different muscles. When we're in this sort of push-up looking position, you're going to feel it more in your inner thighs, and that's what we want. Keep your knees nice and strong. Don't let them bend. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. That's it. Walk your hands forward. Oh, bring your legs in underneath you. Grunt, groan. Make as many sound effects as you need to because these are not easy. That is side split number 2. We're going to come back into standing. We're going to shake out our legs. We're going to get into a little bit more. Shake, 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 shake. Remember, this is relaxed. This is chill. It's not about intensity. This is not about splashiness. This isn't about moving as fast as possible. It's about trying to relax your muscles. All right. Once your ankles are flopping around, going wherever they please, the muscles above them have to be relatively relaxed to allow them to move in those directions. All right. That's what we want. Just general relaxation in the leg. It doesn't even have to start and end with the ankles. You can start flopping your whole leg around. Go. You can be the inflatable car dealership thing that goes like this, except with your whole entire body, and that will help you relax those muscles. It looks silly, I know, but relaxation is an important part because we focus a lot on contraction, right? Like doing the bicep curls, we go, and we're trying to do the contraction, but you can only contract when your muscles have been able to relax, right? You can't contract and then keep contracting and keep contracting. There's a fine line to how much contraction you can have. You need to reset in order to get that engagement in the muscles. So you need to know how to relax and you need to know how to contract. And that is when you'll have mastered your body. All right, I don't need to go off on this tangent. Let's get into sides, but no, we're not. We actually got the hips. Let's go. All your weight is in one leg. Big toe is down. We're rotating in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. If you're new to the show, stick with this. If you've been here for a while, I want you to upgrade. I want you to have fun with it. I want you to do something cool. This mobility, rotating the leg out, bring the leg in. I want you to stick your leg out. I want you to do a stanky leg. Whee! I want you to push that leg back out. Woo! In, out, in, out. Stanky leg, extreme. Stanky leg looking cool, and I want you to keep making these fun. Switch to the other side, by the way. And when you get graceful with it, when you develop control with it, you're just having fun. All right, it's cool. Moving well is awesome. looking graceful is awesome. Having that hip mobility, putting it to work is awesome. And if you're having fun, it's going to be much easier to stay consistent. So make it fun, make it enjoyable. Let's get into side split number 3. Whew. Stand with your butt against the wall. Take one step forward. Open up those legs nice and wide. Fold at the belly button. Bring your hands down to the ground or a stool, whatever floats your boat. I've done 2 with the stool. I'm going to do 1 without. From here, we are walking our hips back just a little bit. And then we're going to externally rotate the legs so that the heels are down, the toes are up, and the knees are pointing up. We're going to sit in this. We're going to breathe. We're going to let ourselves sink a little bit deeper, and a little bit deeper, and a little bit deeper, and a little bit deeper. Each time we shake out our bodies, it should help with relaxation, and you should find that each time we get into this, you should be getting in a little bit deeper before the like intenseness kicks in. From here, if your knees are pointing up and your top of your head is also pointing up, you're in your side split position. Relax your feet, wiggle your toes, wiggle your feet, wiggle your calves, wiggle your hamstrings, your glutes, wiggle everything. Relax those muscles and breathe. Exhale. Sink into your stretch. Whew. That is our stretch. We got options now. All right. If you want, you can continue with the first version of the stretch where we're sitting up straight. You're feeling the stretch more in your hamstrings. Feel free to do the second version of the stretch where we lean forward and we're looking like we're doing a push-up-ish position where we felt the stretch more in the inner thighs. Or I'm going to do this third option. I'm going to do a pancake stretch. I am pretty sure my lack of pancake flexibility is holding me back from a deeper side split at this point. So I need to spend more time in the pancake. You got options. You can do whichever one you like. Take the next 5 seconds to set up into whatever you need. I'm going to grab something to hold on to make this stretch a little harder. And we will continue in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, let's see. How's 3 pounds feel? Okay, maybe I'll start with 5. Oh, no, I'm not. 3 pounds it is. All right. 30 seconds. Let's go. 29, 28, 27, 26, 25, 24, 23, 22, 21. What about both? 21, 20, 19. Okay, that's a lot. 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13, 12, 11, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Lost the earbud. 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All right, that's it. That's enough. Oh, come on out of your stretch wherever it is that you're in. Exhale. Breathe. Recover. And slowly walk your hands out in front of you. Bring your legs in. Oh, that is our third and final side split. I gotta jump over to TikTok real quick to solve a puzzle to prove to the app that I am not a bot. Give me a second. And I have failed the puzzle once, and I got it around the second try. Boom. That is our third and final side split. We're going to get up, we're going to shake out some tension, we're going to try our best to relax, and then we're going to wrap up with some joint checks and Q&A. All right, let's go. Try not to trip on whatever it is that you have on the floor in front of you, and let's begin. Shake out your ankles. Shake, 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 shake. Again, this is about relaxation. All right. If you're feeling relaxed, if you're feeling loose, you're good. You can stop. You don't have to shake super long if you feel like you're already relaxed. You can always pause. You can check and see if your legs are feeling okay. All right. And as you do more of these, you're going to relax faster and faster and faster because you're training your brain to react to doing what you want it to do. And it'll get easier and easier and easier to do it. All right. Once your legs are shaken out, I want you to do a couple of quick knee bends just to make sure your calves are feeling nice and loose. And let's get into some hip stuff. All right, raising one leg, big toe is down, rotating in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out, in, out. And then If you want, you can do the stanky leg extreme. You can always keep it just real simple, stanky leg, stanky leg, stanky leg. And we can also finally add in the most intense version. If you stick your leg out all the way, keep that leg nice and straight, almost no weight on it, so you can lift it anytime. And then you focus on shaking that leg back and forth using those muscles that we've been training. You can get your thighs to start swinging around, flopping all over the place, real fast, real intense. And when it's jiggling like it's made of jello, chances are your thighs are going to be really relaxed. They're just doing whatever they want, and you're going to be chilling. All right. Other side. Again. Start with this. Work on those muscles. Work on that control. Work on that speed. Work on that strength. Bring the knee in and out and in and out and in and out. Extend the leg. Keep on going. Shake, 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 shake. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Shake, 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 shake. And uh, stanky leg. I almost forgot. I was like, what am I missing? Then we just do three things. Stanky leg. Pull that leg in using that internal rotation set of muscles. Then externally rotate. Slide that leg back out. So you can turn it into a nice graceful movement. All right. You don't have to do those. Those are for fun. That's putting your hips to work with the new muscles you're getting control of. And with that, we're going to do a little bit of joint checks and then we'll be done. All right. What I want you to do next is hip circles. Slowly work your way through those hip muscles. We just put them through a heck of a lot. So, oh, you might feel in the sides of your hip. You might feel it in the front a little bit. Mostly the sides because we just did side splits. And you might feel it in your back because you always feel it in your back. And that is normal. Next, go in reverse. Switch it up. Ooh, play with those hips, turn into a little dance, have fun with it. And when you're done with those, we're going to continue with a quick high knee. Your knees come up, we're ready to move on. We're going to do a squat, and we're going to do some calf raises from that squat. All right, I want you to squat down. I want it to look a little like this. I want you to fold your chest down towards your knees, and I want you to point your knees forward towards in front of you, that way. When all of this body weight is kind of leaning forward, you're going to feel like you want to fall forward. And it's up to your toes to clamp down on the ground, grip the floor to help hold you stable. All right. We want this because we want our toes working real hard. When your toes are working real hard, the arch of your foot should also kick in a little bit and help you go and grip the floor like this, except it's your toes and not your hand. And keep on leaning those knees forward. You should be feeling a nice stretch in your Achilles tendon, in your calves. Once you're here, stick your hands down on the ground and let's do some calf raises. Bring those heels straight up and down, and up and down, and up and down. If you are struggling a little bit with this, I want you to imagine that you're putting all your weight between your big toe and your index toe, and you're pushing straight up. If you try to balance the weight across your whole forefoot, you might get into a situation where it looks like this. Your ankles are coming up to the side. All right? That's not what we want. We want your ankle to go straight up and down. Once you've done a couple of these, you're ready to wrap. If you were able to do most of it, your toes, we're working with the arch of your foot, we're working with your Achilles tendon, your ankles, your calf muscles, your quad muscles, your hips, your low back, your glutes, all those muscles were working together so that you could do all those movements, all right? All of those joints were working together so you could do all of those movements. And if that is the case, then chances are you're doing okay, all right? That is our joint check. And thank you so much for being here, practicing a little bit of consistency with me today, working on our side splits, our hip mobility. Again, we do the show every single day. Most of the time, it starts at 9 p.m. Eastern, so it's already a little past 11. That's because today we started at 10. I had some other stuff I needed to come back from. And usually, pretty much like 99% of the time, we start at 9. Tomorrow is Sunday morning. On Sunday mornings, we start at 9 a.m. Eastern, and we have a bonus live on the weekends. All right. Is basically the same show. You just get to start your day with a little bit of mobility instead of ending your day with a little bit of mobility. So if that sounds fun, feel free to come back for that. And now I think there's a lot of comments I gotta check. So I'm gonna crawl over and check some. Oh wait, I got a stool. Ugh. I'm gonna crawl over and I'm gonna check some Q&A. And in between Q&A, I'll throw in some shameless self promotion. Do. Last comment from Set Emuration 2143 says, "Could you do elephant walks?" Yeah, we can take a look at some elephant walks. I saw somebody in the chat over on TikTok say it's the first time. Thanks. You're very welcome. Thank you for being here. I hope you had fun, and I hope you like it enough that you keep coming back, because this show is about practicing consistency, and we make the exercises more or less doable so that you can recover from it every night and come back for more. I believe that getting consistent first is the most important quality, and then once you've built consistency, you can do anything you want with your time. And so that's what we're doing here, building consistency. All right, elephant walks. What I want you to do is to fold at the hips, bring your belly button down. Right, if you can get to 90 degrees horizontal with your upper body, great. If you cannot, it's totally fine for you to be wherever you are at. All right, this is all part of the process, all part of making progress. We're going to bend one knee. We're going to straighten out the other leg. We're going to fold our belly button down as deep as we can. Then we're going to switch to the other side. Knee straight, knee straight, knee straight. If you want, you can do slightly different variations of this. You can actually take some steps and you can change up how intense that is by doing a little bit more, but you don't have to. I do find that it feels way more intense on the hamstrings on that straightened leg if I stick that leg extra far forward. And if you want to do it that way, you should absolutely try it and go for it. All right, that is generally a version of the elephant walks, and I hope that helps. Whew. Swigline says calf raises are amazing. Truly, you have the most effective teaching. Absolutely trusted. Swigline, that's so nice. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. That is so kind and really great way to wrap my evening. Thanks, Swigline. All right, I'm gonna scroll up in the YouTube chat real quick because we usually have fewer of those, and let's see what is going on. Queen R says hello, ready to stretch. Luke says hi. Queen R welcomes them. Or like a great back stretch. Brutus, I think, asked about a back stretch. Queen R said a dead hang is a great way to set up a back stretch. One note about the dead hang is oftentimes your grip strength is going to hold you back from actually being able to relax and get real deep into that stretch. Um, so experiment. See if you can find ways to get better grip. That might be chalk, right? Like climbers use it, gymnasts use it to have better grip on their things. That might be just enough so that you can hold on a little bit more easily to whatever you're hanging off from, and that will give you more time so that you can let your back slowly relax, because it's not instantaneous, right? Like your back is tight because it's been tight for a long time. When you force it to try and relax, it takes time. Sometimes it's literally waiting for your muscle to give up because it's not strong enough to keep holding it. And that might take longer than how much time you got on your grips. And so using some support for your grip might help. If you can't do a dead hang because you don't have like a pull-up bar to hang from, you can substitute it with something like two chairs. All right. As long as you can get your ankles mostly off the ground and you can let your body weight from pretty much your shoulders down get pulled down by gravity, you'll be able to let gravity do the work, help to lengthen your back. And unfortunately, you got to pick one or the other. You're either holding on like this or you're pushing off of whatever it is that way. So if you have dip bars and you just bend your knees a little bit, if you're short, maybe you don't have to bend your knees at all. You can just push off and you can let your upper back relax. But it does take a little bit of conscious effort to relax those muscles, because oftentimes when you're trying to relax, you're going to be flexing some muscle or another. And the more muscles you're flexing, the more the other muscles around it will want to flex. And that's the opposite of relaxing in a dead hang. All right. Let's see. Keisha says, hi. Oh, I missed most of it. I thought the stretch was going to be in the morning. What time will you be live tomorrow? Keisha, we are live at 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. And it looks like Queen RR might have responded to you. Nope. Okay. She didn't. But we are live tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. Eastern time. That means it is, oh man, it's really soon. It's like 9.5 hours from now or something. 9 hours and 48 minutes. Set Demeration 2143 has one last message. I really want to know what type of rep ranges do you do? Do you use strength training, weight and muscle training? Your reply would be valuable. Okay. I'm not actively doing much strength training or strength building at this point. I have built some muscle at some other point in time when I was a bit younger, and it is much easier to maintain muscle mass and it's much easier to maintain strength once you have built it and you've held on to it for a while. So right now, the majority of my training is this side split leg, and maybe taking some walks. And I make other YouTube content, or I do some cool moves here and there, and that is the majority of my training. So it's really not much. Um, in general, if you're a beginner, and if I assume if you're asking this question, you're going to be a relative beginner, you should just pick a plan and stick with it. It's not that important in the beginning. And I sort of emphasize this in the show where the goal is to build consistency first, especially if you're a beginner. Pretty much any movement, any action more than what you were doing for the rest, of the last couple of years of your life is going to have massive impacts on your ability to change. There's this thing that's very common with beginners where you'll gain a lot of muscle, you gain a lot of strength right away. It's almost as if your body's been asking for you to do a little bit of exercise so that it can like acquire that strength. Most people will start plateauing after several months of really dedicated training, like serious dedicated training, several months, maybe a year out. You might start plateauing and you have to figure out new stuff. For most beginners, you got plenty of time. Um, so you don't have to focus on optimal. You don't have to focus on perfection right at the beginning. You just got to focus on something that you can keep doing. When you're doing it consistently, when you're showing up, when you're training, you're enjoying it. It's just a part of your life and not something you go, oh, I have to go train, and something that you feel like is a burden. Then you're ready to change it into whatever it is that you need. You can focus on the most optimal training for whatever it is that you need. You can focus on other stuff, right? But if you hyper focus on 180 grams of protein, if you hyper focus on every little detail too early, it's going to make you go crazy. And when you start missing a couple of things because you want to go out with your friends, you want to have that pizza, you want to do whatever normal person life thing that you want to do, when you're too strict to yourself, you're just going to disappoint yourself, right? That doesn't necessarily help you stay consistent. That doesn't help you with your goals. So if that ramble is annoying and you're like, Ken, just answer the damn question. For the most part, if you're trying to build strength, you want to do very, very low reps and you want to be very rested so that you can keep on building strength. And tends to be the case that doing 3 to 5 reps for building strength is very, very good. But it's going to sound like 3 to 5 reps is so fast. You get to rest for a long time. You got to really rest. Like you got to take a full 2 minutes, 3 minutes to rest so that you can be at maximum preparedness to have the most strength possible to do 3 to 5 more reps. I think for most beginners, doing strength training, like pure strength training for the act of building strength, is going to be a little crazy because you won't have had enough experience to really figure out what is like your maximum contraction and what's like the hardest that you can push. And that's basically what strength training is, right? It's you training your body to do the hardest thing it can do for a couple of reps and then trying your very best to do that again at the very best of your ability. Most training plans are going to have something along the lines of like 8 to 10 reps of every exercise. And that is generally acknowledged as a good range for building muscle, building a little bit of endurance, building a little bit of strength, and being a generally very effective overall range for most people. If you're a beginner, you can start with 8 reps and you can treat it as uh, if you can do 8 reps with good form, awesome. Work your way up to like 10 reps with really good form, and then you can move up weight or increase the intensity of the exercise that you're doing. Once you've done basically that, you don't really need to do more, right? If you've gone through your whole entire life without needing more strength, you don't need more strength to do whatever you're doing in your regular life, right? So this is just for funsies. And if you have a very specific goal, then let me know. But if you don't need the strength, you don't need to be super focused on the perfect way to get to that strength and be that precise about the numbers, if that makes sense. If you're a professional, if you're trying to be professional, those are super important, right? Like logging everything so you can measure progress, so that you can see what's effective, what's not effective. That's very important. Um, before a normal person, just trying to be healthy, trying to be mobile, 8 to 10 reps for the exercise that you're doing. Once you can do 10 reps really well, go make the exercise a little harder. Generally, for most people, up until like an intermediate level, that will work just fine. You don't have to overcomplicate it. Cool? All right. Set Emeration says, at what age did your training career started? I don't know. I started doing this live show about a year and a half ish ago. And when did I start exercising? Maybe 20 years ago. And oh yeah, Che on TikTok, so you can't see the set enumeration on YouTube, said or slower will make it harder. Yeah, there's lots of ways to make an exercise more difficult or more easy. And part of why I said with good form is because once you have consistent form, you can measure the difference, right? If one pull up is going to be like this, and the other pull up is going to be like, it's going to be you falling apart. It's going to be really hard to measure how effective one rep is, right? Because your first rep and your last rep are very different movements. Because by the last one, you're like, right? But your first one might be, and so when I say good form. I mean, if you can keep your 8 reps very consistent, very close, maybe you're slowing down a little bit at the end of the 8, but you're not going, and you're, looking miserable on that last rep. That is a good, solid measure. It's fine to have a couple of those crazy ugly reps. Those are awesome because they make you feel good, right? They tell you what you can max out at, and that's a really satisfying feeling. But for the sake of your training, if you try to do a couple of the super ugly reps at the end, you're probably just trying to skip a week of training and it's not necessary. You should probably spend a little tiny bit more time just building confidence at the weight you're at or in the exercise that you're doing. And then once you actually hit your 10 good clean reps, you can move on. All right. Okay. And if you can't move on, if you're doing body weight exercises and whatever next variation that you can get into cannot be done with the amount of strength that you have at 10 reps, and you can start changing it up to make it more difficult. Going slower often helps. There's other variations to training where instead of thinking about it in terms of reps and sets, you can think about it as training your brain to do the exercise well. There is a style of training that you can Google. It's called GTG, so grease the groove, and is more about your brain getting used to firing the muscles than it is about building pure strength. Um, this was popularized, I think, by Pavel Tsatsouline. He is really cool in the strength community for a whole bunch of principles that he supposedly brought from Soviet Union and now teaches in the U.S. And his thing about Grease the Groove is actually I can't explain it that well. I'll just give you an example of what it is. If every time you come back from the bathroom into your room, you do a couple of pull-ups, about half of what you're capable of doing, but you do all of them with really good, perfect form, and then you chill and just go do whatever you want for the rest of the day. Next time you go to the bathroom, you come back, you do a couple, same amount of pull-ups. If you do that throughout the day, and it could just be whenever you leave your room instead of going to the bathroom, whatever makes sense, as long as you have enough time to recover in between. If you get those reps in, you get a ton of reps throughout the day, and you're training them with really good form. So instead of going to the gym for 1 hour where you try to bust out a couple of sets and you're trying to rest for the minimal amount of time possible, if you build your day around doing a couple here, a couple of there, a couple here, a couple of there, you actually build up a lot of the muscle and brain connections so that you can fire those muscles really well on command. And this is less, muscle volume, less muscle strength necessarily, but is controlling very well the amount of strength that you do have. A lot of the time, uh, where am I going with this? You know how you guys hear stories about women who will lift cars up to rescue their children who are trapped underneath? That kind of like crazy strength that makes absolutely no sense. The body, a lot of the time, is capable of a lot more than we think we're able to do. And this isn't to say you're Superman or anything crazy, but when you do that style of training, you're able to tap into a little bit more of your capability. And that is not saying you're necessarily getting more muscle, that your muscles themselves are stronger, but that you've trained your muscle to be able to tap into more of its capability. So this is like a different value. And I hope that makes sense because I don't really have much more to add after that. All right, let's see what we got. What we got. What we got. Josh Tree 21 says mind muscle connection. Chase says I need those in my life. Mind muscle connection. Yeah. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna scroll up. I think that is everything over on YouTube. I'm gonna scroll up over on TikTok. So Glenn said it will have a lasting impact on my life. So much so I'll make sure to reference others. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you. I really appreciate it. That's really that makes me feel really good because that's the goal of the work, right? Showing up consistently, despite how inconvenient it might be. It's not easy. It's not hard. It's a sacrifice, right? And I could be tonight spending a little bit more time with some of my high school friends because this is a wedding of somebody I went to high school with. And instead, I am most definitely here making sure we do the live thing together. And that's not to say that you have to make that decision for everything that you care about. All right. That is to say that sometimes consistency comes at a price. And a lot of the time, that price is really hard to pay. Maybe that price isn't in dollar amounts, that price is probably in time amounts, that price is probably in trying to get somewhere to do the thing that you got to do. And there are lots of like, hidden costs to being consistent. There's hidden costs in doing hard things. And that's a really hard lesson to teach, right? And the way I'm sharing it is with the side splits. The way I'm keeping myself accountable is with the side splits, but it applies to everything that you're trying to do. You're trying to learn a whole new set of skills because you want to transfer your job to a new industry, right? Like that's a lot of work that you got to do on your own time after work, after whatever, in between time with family, and it's not easy, but you have to stay consistent in order to make the work pay off. A lot of the time, we do those things for ourselves because we have to in order to survive, in order to work, in order to make sure we have food on the table. But when it becomes less urgent, less life or death, we have a much harder time staying consistent as a general statement about the population, right? Otherwise, we'd all be superhumans accomplishing crazy things, but we're not. But we're not. And yeah, I'm really truly coming to believe that building consistency, learning the skill of building consistency, figuring out your own mental psychology and how to trick yourself into staying consistent is wildly important for doing all the things that you got to do and all the things that you want to do. Because cool things don't come easy, cool things don't come without lots of work. And hopefully, we're paying the price together right here. Shay says, one day, my friend. Awesome. All right. Scrolling up, I'm gonna see if there's any other comments to respond to because there's a couple of you still left. Keep it mellow says thank you. Have an amazing night. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Ro Ramirez says thank you. First time I joined on time. Amazing. Earthly Color Brown says smiling. My thanks. Amazing. Good, 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 good. Swigline says it seems these stretches are enhancing my core strength and control. That's really good. Your core ties everything together, right? So even when we're doing the hip cars and we're talking about the hips all the time and we're like high knee, open, whatever, this side of your body doing whatever it is doing is trying to stay very stable so that you can actually do this stuff, right? Your body is at an angle. Your core is staying nice and strong, trying to keep you there so that your legs can go do crazy things. This leg that doesn't look like it's doing anything because it's standing here is working really hard to keep you balanced. You might feel a whole bunch of tension here at the hip when you're doing this because that is working real hard to keep your hip from going like all over the place, right? So a lot of the muscles that we don't even think we're using when we're doing these, that we're not really focusing on, are actually working really hard. Part of the reason why you start, losing balance and stuff is because that muscle over here gets tired, or this muscle in the calf gets tired, or this muscle in the ankle gets tired, and you're like, ugh, and that's what the wall is for, to help you when your muscles are tired. But yes, uh, a lot of the stretches that we do have the core engaged. In the hamstring stretch, right? When we are down on the ground, you're flexing a whole bunch of muscles in the hip, possibly to lift that leg up while you're trying to bring your leg down. You don't have to do this, but you can. And when you're doing that, it tends to be the case. You start tensing your abs too. You start bringing your leg down and down and down and down and down. And at some point, you're just doing a really intense ab crunch. There's lots of little hidden things that make your abs work really, 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 really hard. So you're absolutely right, Swiggling. All right, I'm gonna scroll up a little further and see if there's anything in the chat. Che asks, "How low can you go?" This seems to have come pretty late in the live. Are we talking about the side splits? How low can I go? Not, not that low. I am probably. I haven't measured in a while, but back a couple months ago, I think the lowest I measured was 14 centimeters off the ground, which I think, no, that can't be right. Was it 14? I can't remember. I can't remember, so I'm not going to make up any numbers. It'll just make it sound like I'm lying or something. Swigline says, so I'm waiting for the fourth one. Till then, I'll do other exercise. So I'm waiting for the fourth one. Till then, I do other exercise. Till fourth one, fourth one. What are you talking about? We're talking about, so I'm waiting for the fourth one. Till then, I'm doing other exercises. Um, I have no idea what you're talking about. I'm gonna keep scrolling. Oh, okay, got it. Good evening. I actually rewatched the video from yesterday's live at 9 p.m. I left off on the fourth stretch. That's funny. Okay, I should have just scrolled back more and read a little bit more. I'm glad you're using the rewatching stuff on YouTube, and that's been helpful for you. I'm glad that's useful. Jay says you should have seen him this morning. That was intense. Oh yeah, this morning we had a whole bunch of internet difficulties, but I couldn't tell because I was too busy falling apart doing Taibo. We did a live Taibo class because it is one of the best performing short videos that I have on Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, and uh, not many people actually showed up because I accidentally connected my phone to the bad Wi-Fi, and the Wi-Fi was quite laggy multiple times, and also very, very poor quality. It was super pixelated, so didn't get that much attention over on TikTok, which is usually really, 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 really good on Saturday mornings. But Taibo was kind of crazy. My big toe has a little bit of like a callus forming, or like some skin that might turn into a blister, I think, if I'm not careful with it. And it's because I was jumping from side to side doing Taibo. Now, do I regret it? Maybe I should have put on sneakers, but it's too late now. Anyways, what else are we doing? I'm scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up. Che, thank you for being here for the live this morning. I appreciate it. I appreciate your support. And Jesus loves you over on TikTok says, what kind of exercise is that, and what is the goal? Most of our stretches are for getting a little bit deeper into whatever shape that we're trying to get into. Uh, but we piece them all together to try and get into the side splits. If that comment came in super early while we were doing like more reppy stuff, like when we do the hip cars at the beginning or the Cossack switches, you're building a lot of strength in each of these positions. You're getting a little bit more comfortable staying low to the ground, bending at the knee, folding at the hips, putting pressure on the ankle, folding at the ankles. And those are all super useful for, if you ever fall on the ground and decide you need to get up. If you're hurt, having lots of options to get up is super important. If you can come up lots of different ways, if you can not use your hands, you can sit up, stand, and do all those things. That is very useful. It's also useful if you happen to be holding things in your hand and you can't use your hands for some reason, like lifting small children up into the air and needing to get up, or grabbing your pets from attacking other dogs or something. I don't know. I'm just running out of examples now at this point. But um, we're working on hip mobility. We're working on our side splits. All the stretches that we do eventually add up to something that you require for your side splits. And the warm up exercises are just really good for your hips. You're not going to build muscle fast. You're not going to get stronger fast, but you are going to get stronger slowly over time with those hip cars, with the Cossack switches, with the maybe not so much with the thoracic rotation. Maybe like the pushing arm that's pushing off your straight leg. Maybe that will get a little bit stronger. And what else do we have? Elephant walk. We're not really getting stronger in the elephant walk, but we're warming up the body. We're stretching out the limbs, and that's the line. All right. I've gone really far back in the chat, I think. Yep, that was one of the first couple of messages. So let's wrap it up right on here. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming in, practicing consistency, working on your side splits with me today. We'll be back in it's at 9 o'clock, so 9.5 hours ish, and we'll be doing some more side splits. We'll be doing some more hip mobility. I hope you get some rest if you're going to come back to that. But if you decide you're not going to come back to that, I don't mind at all. I'll see you guys tomorrow night. And I hope you had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoy your Saturday evening, and I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Cool. I'm closing out for today. Goodbye, everybody. Hitting the off button over here on TikTok and hitting it over here on